Hi there, and welcome back to my first time homebuyer guide. I'm so glad you're here, and today we're talking about something that stops a lot of buyers in their tracks. How much home can I actually afford? If you're not sure where to start, you're not alone, and you don't have to figure it all out at once. Let's walk through this together. It's not just your mortgage. A lot of people look at the home's price or a monthly payment estimate and think, okay, I can swing that. But the truth is, your monthly cost is more than just your mortgage. Here's what's really included: principal and interest, the mortgage, property taxes, homeowner's insurance, HOA fees, if any, utilities, maintenance, and long-term repairs. Owning a home should bring peace of mind, not monthly anxiety. The goal isn't to buy at your max, it's to buy at your comfort. Ever heard of Dave Ramsey's idea, living within your means? It's solid advice. Financial peace matters. Now, don't forget about the upfront costs. Beyond your down payment, there are closing costs, and they can sneak up if you're not ready. These usually run around 2 to 5% of the home's price, and they cover things like lender and title fees, escrow, taxes and insurance, home inspections, yes, plural, and appraisal. Now, that 2 to 5% is in addition to your down payment, not instead of. So be sure to budget for both. And while we're talking about down payments, here's something important to know. If you want to avoid PMI, that's private mortgage insurance, you'll need to put down at least 20% of the loan amount. But most first-time buyers don't put down 20%, and that's okay. PMI is totally normal. But here is a quick breakdown. Your PMI payments will vary based on your down payment. The smaller the down payment, the higher the PMI. Loan amount, the PMI is calculated off of the total loan. And then your typical PMI rate is between 0.3 and 1.5% annually of your loan amount. Some buyers will use gifted funds from family or qualify for local down payment assistance programs. These can reduce the amount you'll need to bring to closing. Now, let's talk about those inspections, because this is where buyers often feel surprised, and I want you prepared. The home will need a general home inspection, which checks the structure, roof, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, basically the full picture of the home's condition. But depending on the property, you may also need additional inspections. WDO inspection, wood destroying organisms, termites, wood rot, and more. I recommend this for every home, even block construction. Water inspection for homes on well. You'll want to test for quality and safety. Septic inspection. Do you have a septic system? That's a separate inspection and definitely worth doing. Insurance specific reports. Ask your agent what they'll need. 4-point inspection, wind mitigation, mold or air quality testing. If your general inspector sees visible signs of moisture damage, musty smells, or past leaks, they may recommend a specialized mold inspection. In most cases, this isn't done automatically. It's a follow-up if something concerning is flagged. If an issue comes up during your general inspection, you can usually request to extend your inspection period, so a licensed specialist can take a closer look. This is common for mold, foundation leaks, foundation cracks, roof damage, or anything else that might require deeper evaluation. The good news, you can negotiate some of these costs as a seller credit or request they repair. Important note though, never send your full home inspection report to your insurance company. Only send those specific documents they say they need. Oversharing can lead the home to being labeled as uninsurable. Okay, and yes, we will touch on the buyer's compensation agreements. It's a newer part of the process in some areas. It may come into play if you find that perfect home, but the seller isn't offering any compensation to the buyer's agent. We will dive deeper into this and what it means and how it affects you in next week's video. Don't worry. So what is your DTI? That is your debt to income ratio. It's a big part of how lenders decide what you can afford. It's the percentage of your monthly income that goes towards debts like car loans, student loans, credit cards, and yeah, your future mortgage. Most lenders like to see this ideally under 43%, but honestly, lower is better, especially if you want to avoid stretching yourself too thin. Before you dive into the loan options though, there's something you must do first. That is, review your credit report and know your credit score. Don't skip this step. It's too important. Your credit report tells the story of how you've handled your debt in the past. The lenders rely heavily on it to determine whether you qualify for a loan, what types of loans you're eligible for, and the interest rates you'll receive. Start by pulling your credit report from all three bureaus. You can get a free copy at annualcreditreport.com. Why? Because errors happen. And if something incorrect, like a paid off account, is still showing open, or an account you didn't open, you'll want to dispute and fix before applying for a mortgage. That way, there's no surprises. Here's what your credit report includes. A list of your open debts and how you've paid them, like credit cards, car loans, and student loans. Any bills that have gone to collections. Public records like bankruptcies or tax liens. And any inquiries from when lenders checked your credit and whether those resulted in new credit being issued. Your credit score is built from this information, and it signals to the lenders how likely you are to repay your mortgage. Higher credit score usually means better loan terms, lower rates, and more loan options. Let's talk about some of those loan options. There are 4 main types of mortgage loans you hear about. FHA, great for lower credit score and smaller down payments. Conventional, requires higher credit score but offers better long-term flexibility, like the ability to remove your PMI, private mortgage insurance. VA, for veterans, active duty military, and eligible family members, often with no down payment and no PMI. USDA, designed for eligible and rural suburban areas, also with no down payment required. Each of these have different requirements, and the best one for you will depend on your credit, income, location, and your goal. That's why having a guide, comes in to help you sort through the options and choose the right path for you. Now, the biggest, pre-approval versus pre-qualification. Let me put it this way. One gets you a house, and the other one might get you ghosted. The pre-qualification is just a casual estimate. No documents, just numbers you tell a lender. It's not verified, and it's not strong enough to make offers. What really matters is pre-approval. To get pre-approved, you'll complete your lender's full application, loan application, providing them with key information like your credit history, current debts, work and income history, where you have lived, and how much you're planning to put down. Your lender uses these this information to evaluate what's known as the 4 C's, the main factors of deciding whether you qualify and how much you can borrow. These 4 C's are capacity, your current and future ability to make mortgage payments based on income and employment. Capital, your savings, asset, or investments that could go towards the down payment and closing costs. Collateral, the home you want to purchase, which will serve as security for the loan. Credit, your record of managing debt and paying bills on time. When all of this checks out and your documentation is verified, you'll receive a pre-approval letter. And that's what shows the sellers you're serious and ready to go. To get fully pre-approved, you'll typically need recent pay stubs, W-2s, or tax returns, bank statements, your ID, and a credit check. Very important to know, and please, please, please do. You can and should shop around with multiple lenders. Compare the interest rates, closing costs, and the service fees. It can save you thousands. So, how much home can you really afford? It's not just what you qualify for. It's about what fits your life. When you've looked at your full budget, you've considered your DTI, debt to income, you reviewed your credit report, you've planned for those upfront costs, watch the video again, and left room to breathe, that's when you're ready. That's when you can confidently start house hunting in your price range. So, if this has helped take some mystery out of what you can afford, that's a win. And watch the video again. It's a lot of information, okay? That's why it's a video. But please make sure to hit that subscribe button to don't miss out on next week's video, where we're diving into homes, the search, agent versus realtor, and more. Buying your first home is a big deal, but so are you. I've got your back, and you've got this.